So the first thing you want to do is set your distance from the dummy so you have this nice angle on your arm. And when you're learning, you're going to have to look where you're stepping and you're going to have to look at the post, but ultimately you want to look him in the eyes throughout the whole thing. So you want to turn, and I've marked the post on the inside with a red marker because people have a tendency to step wide. And I want you to step at that red marker. And it feels like you're going to run right into these arms, but it's amazing how in the course of doing it you just pirouette right around it. And then this leg circle steps, and you check the dummy's leg from ankle to knee. Then you pull your hips or pull your foot out and aim your hips back to your starting point. And then take kind of a long step, and then these inside muscles, you pull your stance back together. And then again, you're stepping toward that red mark. And so you learn to maneuver around the dummy. And the reason I have this drill is because people get in the bad habit. They're doing the traditional form, and they step out well enough for this, but then they step back like this. And you know my favorite technique. So come over here, because I think you're out of frame. No, you're not out of frame. It's real wide. So stand maybe about there. So if I can make you step to the side, that you can't block except with your knees. This you can block with your hands. But only this really tight footwork, keeping your knees together, will do it, and this is a really good place to practice it. So you can see how I'm keeping my knees together. The other thing that really helps with this is the bungee cord around your knees, or the block of wood. There's a 2x4, the 2-inch way, which is actually 1.5 inches, and that forces you to pinch the block of wood, or the bungee cord helps draw your knees together. So go ahead and let me just review the whole thing. So after you learn that, you'll start hitting it with a bow pie. So you're learning to connect this hip turning, you know, like right now you already know how to connect your forward stepping with your strike. Then the next thing you would learn would be to kick here, there, and step in. And then the next thing you would do a bong sow into a bow pie. So that's where it's going. And then you could even gong sow, bow pie, gong sow, bow pie, or gong sow, bow pie.
Can you repeat one more time what I'm going to do right now?
You're just going to set your distance, step towards that red mark. You want your lead foot to get 2/3 of the way over that red line, so when you turn, that red line becomes your center line. You don't want to be jammed up here where the dummy's putting a lot of pressure on you. So see how I'm stepping 2/3 of the way beyond that red line. If you step too far, you won't be able to get your leg over to the dummy's leg. So set your distance, and then shift. Look at that red mark on the post. Now hold it right there. Don't change anything. Put your bow pie on the dummy. Now, if you do it that way, the dummy will hit you. There you go. See how you're blocking him? Now, do you feel this is maybe cramping you? Look down at the red line, and you see that it's, there you go, there's your center line. And maybe you stepped a little too far. Come back slightly. Okay. There you go. So now, push your foot forward 2 inches, 3 inches. Now your ankle's touching the dummy's ankle. Your knee's touching the dummy's knee. Good. Put your hands back. Now, pull your foot out, don't step, face this way, turn your hips, turn your back foot. Good. Now, when you step, you're going to want your foot to end up here. So it's kind of a long step. Take it. Good. Shift and face that red line. Now, go back. Do it again. Shift, but don't step. Let your foot turn. See that red line? You're going to want to put your foot about there. 2/3 of it beyond the red line. And then let your other foot circle around. Now, look down at this foot. See how your toe's pointing out? Leave your toe where it is. Just push your ankle out. There. See how now you have your toe angled in. You're putting pressure on the dummy's ankle. You're putting pressure on the dummy's knee. You hit it with a bow pie, you don't feel like the dummy's putting pressure on you. Look down at that red line, and it's fairly close to your center line, isn't it? So that's good. So pull your foot out, turn your hips back, but don't step. Turn your back toe, turn your back toe, turn your hips more. Now, look at the spot where you're going to put your foot, but look him in the eye and take the step. See, looking at him keeps your head back and therefore your shoulders. When you're looking down, you're more likely to run into those arms. So shift, look at that red mark. Good. Good. Push your ankle out a little. Good. Shift or turn. Before you step, look at this spot. Then look him in the eye and take the step. Take a quick step. Don't go slowly. If you go slowly, it just all falls apart. Shift. Look at that red line. Look down. Okay. You were stepping about right. And take. Good. Now you're doing it correctly. Take the steps a little quicker. Oh, no. Okay. Go ahead. Get back. Okay. Move your right foot a little closer. No. Your right foot a little closer to the red line. There you go. Now, what you did is you rushed the second position. Pull your foot out and don't step. Get in position, but don't step. See, now you're in position. And before you step, you want to look at the spot where you're going to put your foot, and then look him in the eye. Yes, and step quickly. Now look at the red mark. Look where you're going to put your foot. Look him in the eye, and take a quick step. Feel the difference? It works better if you take a quick step. I mean, you got to be doing it right. Now hold it. Turn a little more. Look at the spot where you're going to put your foot. Look him in the eye. Take a quick step. Good. You had to shuffle a little, but you'll get it soon enough. So you got several stages here. You look at the red mark. Look where your foot's going to go. Look him in the eye and take a quick step. Pull your foot out. Make sure your hips are aimed at the next position. Look where you're going to put your foot. Look him in the eye. Take a quick step. Good. You got it. You just need to do it 10,000 more times. Okay, 6,000. Make sure you got three items on your checklist. Now, hold that position. So you're here, you got kind of a wide space. Just turn and think and, yeah. And I think maybe you're a little too far off the line. There you go. You'll do some adjusting, and pretty soon it'll happen. It'll be perfect.
Okay.
And if it's a little off, no one will notice. Strive for perfection, and you'll get close.